What's up, everybody? Beastman here,
Zeus.
and welcome back to Beastman Bro to episode 11. And we got quite a bit of stuff to talk about. Some good news, some not so good news, but kind of confusing. And we're gonna talk about our review of what we saw over the weekend, which was Masters of the Universe.
He-Man.
Yeah, that one. And Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which we saw on Monday, and He-Man was last.
Sunday.
Was it Sunday?
Yeah.
No, it was the day before that. And I'll go ahead and let Zeus go first about the Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah. Went to see it on Monday during the day, and thank God there wasn't that many people at the.
Yeah,
There
it
wasn't
was like
really
almost
anybody
empty.
there. There was probably like five other people there, like a couple
Practically it
little
was on
couples.
Monday too.
What's up?
Practically it was on a Monday
Yeah, it
also.
was a Monday in the afternoon. So, but yeah, no, it was a great movie. I mean, as far as you know, I go with I haven't read all the comics and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Spider Man was one of the comics I wasn't huge on reading. So because I don't know much about the only thing I really know about Spider Man is what I've seen from the movies past. From Tony Maguire to Andrew Garfield to now Tom Holland. And but no, it was a good movie. To me, I mean, they did it really well. It actually really reminds me of the Spider-Man games on
Yeah,
what was the name of the
just Marvel Spider-Man.
Marvel Spider, yeah, on PS4 and now
Yeah,
PS5, the new ones on PS5. But
yeah,
yeah, it was very reminiscent of that game. Some of the um I guess bad guys, I guess you call them. It was very similar. They had the lightning sticks and everything, just like the game. Um, and it was really cinematic how he would jump off the buildings and stuff like that. This one like really took you into him on the buildings,
yeah,
like first person to like, yeah, it was pretty badass.
yeah. Amazing Spider-Man did that also.
Yeah, but Amazing Spider-Man didn't do it as well, I don't think. This one was, I mean, maybe it's because it was in the theaters. That probably.
I think Brand New Day did it more than Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it was really badass in that aspect. Like you got up close and personal with him
Mm-hmm.
jumping off the building and stuff like that. And they just come a lot. They've come like a far way from the originals with Tobey Maguire. Like they've come a far way with the cinematography and stuff like that, and how realistic they can make everything look. And man, yeah, it was a badass movie. I don't want to give too much away, so I
Yeah.
don't want to go into what I liked about the the movie aside from how good it looked cinegraphically. And um the storyline was pretty good too. They kept it on the story. A lot of people right now that they want to change so much
Mm-hmm.
to like embellish things so much, but this one kept it, for lack of a term, simple.
Yeah.
Lack of a better term, it was a little simple, but the storyline, it fit. It wasn't like they were trying to do too much to throw in all these extra people, and like they try to do sometimes, especially right now everybody's just trying to go grab a dollar and make the movie the biggest freaking
Yeah.
thing. So I thought it was great.
Was that your overall?
Yeah,
I
that's
think.
yeah. I don't
Okay.
want to go too much into the movie. I wanted y'all to see it for yourself and make your own opinion on it. But as far as what I liked about it, aside from like what actually happens in it, that's where I stand on it.
Baloo's at the door. Either Baloo or Zoe.
If they start scratching, let me.
All right, my review of it. Um, Overall as a movie, I thought it was better than the Home trilogy. Even though I like No Way Home a little bit more, I did think the action scenes were a lot better in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some complaints I didn't like was that how it just rushed through all the minor low street level criminals that were mainly from the comics. I wish they would have shown them a little bit more, like have them have a little bit of a more prominent role instead of as one small montage sequence. But I do like how it is close to like the Marvel Spider-Man game. Um, and he has like straight from the game, he this time Peter Parker does have his own gadgets and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, and he wasn't in here trying to suck off Iron Man
Yeah,
anymore. Thank God.
yeah, because he died in
Well, yeah, I
Endgame.
know, but it's
Yeah,
still you don't have Iron Man in here trying to,
yeah.
So yeah.
I like that he actually made his stuff this time
Mm-hmm.
because he has his own little laboratory type of setup. He has like a 3D printer that he can make all kinds of stuff with. Um, I think it even uh he either used it to either repair his suit or make a suit because I saw like his suit on the 3D printer.
Yeah, he
So
was. Every time he'd get in a fight, it would rip his suit, and he'd put it on
yeah,
the printer, and it would it would stitch it up and like fix his suit every time he'd get into some kind of fight.
yeah.
Yeah,
I like that aspect of it.
yeah, that was cool.
There is one little detail that was kind of odd that they switched up because at the end of No Way Home, it showed him in his own apartment with like nothing else, with like of course his box of things, but I think he got that there's a big black box that Tony Stark gifted to him, and I don't think it really showed that in No Way Home, but I think the setup that he has now, I think it's probably from that box where all the advanced stuff is. That's probably where he got the whole advanced 3D printer from. And so I don't know what happened to why he's not in that apartment anymore, where he was actually stitching his new costume, and now he's in like an
Technically an attic.
yeah
Well,
some
but
type of big storage space.
yeah, well, he needed it for
Oh, I think it's called like some type of studio room or something.
yeah, it's a studio room in the like up at the top of a building,
Yeah.
like the very top of the building, and like a little room up there. It was really a storage. All it was a storage room.
Mm-hmm.
That they said was just collecting dust really. So he ended up moving into this little storage room, and he had his whole little setup up there and everything. Um, they didn't really explain why he moved to that room.
Yeah, I would have liked to at least like saw like what happened
Yeah, like
at
why he
least.
had to, because it showed him in his apartment, then going up to that room. So it didn't really explain why he went up to that room.
Um, and the whole I thought it was a bit weird why he was obsessing over Ned and Michelle Jones. Because even though at the end of No Way Home, the whole point was that they were to forget about him in general. So
Well,
I
it literally explained it during the movie, though.
I know, but I'm just saying it was kind of weird for him to still obsess over them, even though everything that happened was to uh save them, and then he's going back again just to obsess with them and make friends with them again. I don't mind that they're in it. I just don't think they should be like a major part of it, even
Well,
though
no, that's what.
there's a more bigger threat going on.
Well, the whole point of the movie was that you can't do it alone. So he was obsessed because they were his best friends, and he couldn't handle doing things alone. So the whole like the
He
point.
wasn't doing it alone, which is
No, no,
why we
well, no.
got
I'm saying
the
like you need somebody to keep you tethered. You know what I'm saying? Like it can't just be the cop that he's working with, or the the or the Punisher or whatever. Like they're both, even though he was dating Michelle Jones or whatever. Um, it was like they're a part of him, and like people like that are outside of his workspace, that are like actually his like personal friends, and like what I'm saying, like
yeah, but
that
they
keep
don't.
him tethered to the actual world instead of just being Spider-Man. He has somebody else to make him feel more human, and that's and so I feel like that's why they chose to do it like that.
Yeah, there was even like the girl that noticed him, like in like the blonde hair girl. I would have thought maybe he would have tried to make friends with her instead. Like, cause it's starting a brand new day. I would have thought he would have made new friends,
Yeah.
and then go back to making friends with his previous ones.
Yeah.
That I think that would have been a little bit better because he still has because Punisher comes in, and then you got Bruce Banner, which ties into the whole the mutation stuff. about like transforming to like a monster and your whole body is like evolving. Because like from the trailers you see like his eyes going turning black, and then he's got new web stuff going on and stuff like that. Which I could understand that, but I think Dr. Connors, like the guy who plays as Lizard, I think he would have been um a better match because Hulk isn't really in Spider-Man like a part of his life, so I think Dr. Connors would have made more sense. But
Yeah, but nobody's supposed to know who he is. So the fact that he went to um, Bruce Banner actually kind of does make sense because he already doesn't really have a relationship with him. So it's somebody that's kind of like he can be anonymous around instead of having like these like friendly feelings with, I guess you could say, like somebody that was like a mentor to him. It's
mm-hmm,
just a dude that like he knows he can trust because he has that little he has something that helps him, like can help him figure things out. So it kind of makes sense they would use him. I mean, yeah, I can see where you're going with trying to use Connors because it would have
yeah,
been more, you know what I mean? Like it could have been somebody that,
it's more related to Spider-Man,
yeah,
and um the whole transformation stuff I can understand like makes sense. And there is a storyline, an episode in the animated series where Spider-Man actually does turning into like a man spider monster where he grows like four arms and turns into a literal like spider beast. And Punisher does come in and try and stop him. And there is like a female doctor to try and administer a cure for him. So when I first thought of that, like saw the trailer, I thought it would figure to go into more of that storyline, and I think the director did. He did mention that, but he thought it would be too scary for younger audiences, with the, Peter turning to like a literal monster. But gotta get as much of the audience as you can. But yeah, there is a different type of villain in this that's not really related to Spider-Man. Although it could have, but they changed it. From the game, the villain is Mister Negative, which he can like alter people's minds, and which does happen in the movie, except it's someone else that does it
mm-hmm.
instead of Mister
Mr. Negative.
Negative. And even there's even a comic called Brand New Day, which actually uses Mister Negative, but they didn't go for that direction. So as a movie, I thought it was good, but as a Spider-Man movie, it has some inconsistencies, and there are some character changes, some good and some bad. I did like how he was more of the usual friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like he was more involved with the New York community and talking with the police captain, Gene DeWolf. Um, I did kind of like their whole dynamic relationship,
Yeah,
how they're like speaking to each other.
but she still has no clue who he is.
Yeah, which I kind of hint that she kind of knows who he is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I just thought they would have talked a little bit less and just a little bit less, but only like talk while they're on the job and not off the job. Um, because at certain points, at some moments, it seems like the police captain kind of tells Spider-Man what to do just sometimes, and how they're always reminding each other. You know, Jean is like DeWolf is clearly the police captain, so she should know what's going on already in her city. So it's kind of odd how they keep reminding each other. But even though Spider-Man has like a new app now, and he has like a new AI HUD in his suit. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
yeah. I like their dynamic though because it shows that he is lonely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she has two kids, so I'm sure she hears him as being like a kid. to her, he probably, because he does sound like a kid, not a little kid, but
Hmm.
like obviously she's a lot older, so she probably, because she has kids that are like teenagers and stuff like that, and he's not much older, like barely in his 20s. It does make sense that she would like, like be kind of like a, not any kind of a parent, but like be more graceful with them, you know what I mean, instead of just like some like guy that you work with, like, okay, go do this, go do that,
Hmm.
and then it does show that he's lonely because she's the only one that he talks to, because he doesn't have anybody else to talk to, and so that is like the it does make sense that he would talk to her, and they would have like this kind of like kind of some kind of bond instead of just being like colleagues,
Yeah.
like because he has nobody else, like, he misses his aunt, he misses his best friend and his girlfriend. He has nobody else really that he can like talk to, and nobody else really knows Spider-Man's business like she knows Spider-Man's business,
Yeah.
because so the dynamic did work, and I like the way that they did that.
All right. Not gonna go into any more details because we don't want to spoil anything. But overall, I thought it was good as a movie itself, and as a Spider-Man movie, it's a mixed bag. But yeah, on to Masters of the Universe.
Hell yeah, He-Man.
Yeah, we saw that on Sunday.
I have the power.
What do you think about that one?
Yeah, it was a they. It was a little corny
Yeah.
ish. Like it was. It seemed like it was more geared toward kids, like younger kids, like a
Hmm.
younger crowd. And you know how like say like Scooby Doo, how Scooby Doo has, it was geared toward kids, but it had a bunch of um like adult innuendos in it,
Yeah.
like how they would kind of like, like say things that kid like that would go over a kid's head,
Hmm.
so that, what I'm saying, but like like for the adults. That's kind of what they did that throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, like the character names.
Yeah, the character names when
Ramhead and Fisto.
yeah, Ramhead, Fisto, and whatever, I can't remember what he called the other dude, the neck guy, but
Mechanic.
yeah, Mechaneck. And it would just like whenever they would fight and stuff, there's like a couple scenes. Well, they just make like these little jokes, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like these little adult kind of like jokes that would go over kids' heads, and they did that through, which I thought was hilarious. But the movie itself did kind of seem to be portrayed more for kids than it was for adults, and I wish it was a little bit more
A bit more
um
mature.
yeah, a bit more mature, like the Avengers movies, how they did
Hmm.
the Avengers movies, how it was funny, but it was also had it was like serious and more
Yeah,
mature.
that's gonna be
Like
very
they
serious.
had their jokes and they
Yeah.
had stuff, but I wish they would have done it a little bit more like that.
Hmm.
That's really my only gripe about it. I mean, everything else was like the storyline was good. How they transitioned from each part of like each scene in the, not scene, but like each section of the movie.
Yeah.
It transferred over very well and was like it had a good momentum going. And the momentum never really broke. You know what I'm saying? Like it had a good momentum throughout the movie, and like a good like feeling. Um, I like the characters and everything. It just, like I said, it just was a little bit too kid-ish, like a little bit too immature, kind of like it just seemed like it was geared toward kids. Which, like the beginning, I almost turned it off at the beginning. Not that bad, but it was like you could tell what you were in for, if that makes sense. Like as soon as you see the first 10 minutes of a movie, you can kind of see who it's for, and it was definitely like very kid centric. Like it was like kid centered. Like you could definitely tell, and it was kind of, that threw me off a little bit. But aside from that, I mean, everything else was good. I
He was a
like
kid on Eternia?
what?
Or he was a kid on Eternia?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the fact that he was a kid. I mean, yeah, you're showing his roots, but like like it just has that very like teaching kids a lesson kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it was very like geared toward children. You know what I'm saying? Like younger, maybe like from like 9 to 13. Like it was just very geared toward that age group. The whole movie, and like there was like I said, there are like, innuendos, like adult like things that would like they would say that would go over kids' heads and stuff like that, which made it like worth watching, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie was good. Don't get me wrong. It just had that. Yeah, it was just a little bit too immature for me. Um, I mean, it was a great movie as far as like how the story progressed, how they used their characters. The characters were really well thought
Yeah,
out and really well executed.
I think
Um,
Skeletor might have stole the show, stole
what's
the
up?
movie. I say I think Skeletor might have stole the movie.
I mean, he did a great job.
Yeah,
Um,
well,
but
especially the like whole the dream sequence or whatever when he went into Adam's head, how he was all like in different
oh
scenes
yeah, near the
of
yeah
his life.
yeah
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
that was pretty cool.
I was like showed up at his office like
Oh
a
yeah, yeah. He
like
would show
in
up at
like the
like different
coffee mug.
stages of it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot about that. Yeah,
yeah, that was
yeah.
pretty
That,
funny.
but that yeah, it made the movie. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funny. But that was near the end though,
yeah.
almost.
And then talking about like his gorgeous thighs.
Oh man, that
Remember?
shit. I could not let. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. He's like, yeah, you got that sword between those luscious thighs or some shit. And I was like, oh my god, that's what we were talking about. Like it's very like
Yeah,
they'll put things in there like kids wouldn't really understand. They're like, mommy, what does that mean? But yeah, no, that shit was
yeah.
funny.
I think Jared Leto probably improvised that part.
Oh,
I think.
he played Skeletor.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think there were some slow moments in it that like dragged on a bit too long,
Hmm.
especially with there were some parts with Skeletor how like how he was like the only one laughing like awkwardly a bit too long,
Yeah,
and then nobody else was laughing.
they kind of had that like
It's kind
cartoon kind of. I mean, it was originally a cartoon, but it had that cartoon feeling, like a cartoon movie feeling.
yeah, it kind of reminded me of the Austin Power scene from Doctor Evil, like how he's the only one laughing like
Oh yeah,
slowly,
and it,
abrupt, and then like everybody else is laughing. Yeah,
yeah,
but I think Austin Powers did it better, and then He Man uh just dragged it on a little bit too long.
yeah. They brought it up too much,
Yeah,
like the whole
and they
laughing
did it
thing.
multiple times too.
That's what. Yeah, they brought it up to like it was.
Yeah,
They did it multiple times.
yeah.
Um.
I did like the character designs, also. Except I wish Battle Cat wasn't acting such like a baby.
Well, yeah, that yeah. His voice was shit,
Yeah,
like complete shit. But if you do watch the original cartoon,
yeah.
Battle Cat is a little bitch.
Oh,
Like
okay.
in the movie, like in the originals, he is like a little bitch. Like he doesn't like they actually. I hated the way that they made his voice. They should have made it a little different. He sounded too much like a child,
Yeah.
but in the cartoons, that really is how he acts.
Oh, okay.
But the only part that I didn't like though, and I was waiting for it to happen the whole time, but they didn't do it until literally the very fucking end, is whenever He-Man turns into He-Man, or whenever Adam turns into He-Man, Battle Cat turns into Battle Cat. Like at first he's just shit, I can't remember his name before he turns, but he turns into Battle Cat when Adam turns into He-Man, and whenever he turns into Battle Cat, he like looks like a badass. Like he gets bigger,
Mhm.
stronger, and he has like this armor on him. He's
Yeah.
got like these teeth and stuff like that, like these big fangs,
Mhm.
and or like whatever you, I think they're called fangs, but yeah. So that kind of annoyed me that like Battle Cat was like literally supposed to be like by his side. Not, he didn't have to be their whole movie, but whenever he's He-Man, Battle Cat is supposed to be like his right hand, like his right hand,
Yeah.
and he's not supposed to be like this little like scary little bitch. When Adam is He-Man, he's supposed to be like the,
Well, he
well, he popped up
yeah.
when, but he was still
Especially
acting
with
like,
like when He-Man came to rescue his dad, like Battlecat was there fighting. He just wasn't in his armor.
yeah, even without the armor though, when they were in the woods and he came out, he popped up or whatever. Well, he like when He-Man and him got together or whatever and we're about to go fight, he's like, do we really have to do this? When he was Battle Cat, he wasn't scared. Like he
Yeah.
was actually like a warrior, like He-Man, or like yeah, like He-Man. But when Adam is Adam, then he goes back to his original state and he's smaller and he's like kind of scared. Just
Mhm.
like Adam, he's kind of wimpy and stuff when
Yeah.
he's Adam, but then when he turns into He-Man, he turns to a badass. Well, Battle Cat is supposed to literally like go through the same changes with He-Man. So that part kind of annoyed me.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I didn't like uh, when it comes to the original cartoon and the movie is that part because I really wanted to see Battle Cat become like this big badass, and he never did. He just kind of was like I mean he tore some shit up. He fought, but he wasn't like the badass like he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that kind of annoyed the piss out of me.
And I think some of what ruined it, at least for me and probably you, was that him working at the a whole HR meeting type of office,
Mm-hmm.
and I think while he was working there, I think that kind of ruined the tone of it sometimes, because it made him feel a bit more sensitive, especially towards Skeletor. Like there's one moment I won't say anything, but it was similar to how Battle Cat was feeling like before he started fighting and stuff. Like it gave him more sensitive feeling towards it instead of trying to be brave and like trying to face your problems like head on,
Yeah.
basically. So that was like a little bit one of my complaints.
Yeah, Skullfire. I kept saying the whole movie. I kept saying,
Yeah.
man, they should have made this Arnold Schwarzenegger. If Arnold Schwarzenegger would have played him with the same like depth in the voice, dude, that would have been so much better. I said that throughout the whole movie. That it should have been. I would have much more liked uh, Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice like that. I thought it would be a lot more badass. I mean, it's a whole lot better than a fucking cartoon though. Because in the part, yeah, he's like, like he's got this weird ass fucking "I will kill you" kind of bullshit, and I couldn't handle that if it was like that. So, um, I could much more handle what they used in the movie than that, but I would still prefer if it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been a lot cooler.
Oh, and Trapjaw was the other guy.
And who?
Trapjaw
Trapjaw, yeah.
or Snapjaw,
Trapjaw
something like
was.
that.
I liked his arm. That fucking arm was badass.
Yeah. And Man at Arms was like the Idris Elba character.
I'm not a huge Leto fan either. Um, I didn't like the Joker that he played. Like,
Oh yeah, I didn't either.
no, like the Joker was like a gangster.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, Joker was like a mafia kind of. Like the original Joker is kind of like a mafia style gangster, and he played like a street gangster. That shit was fucking retarded.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I didn't like that at all. I'm not a big fan of Leto as an actor. There's only one movie that I like with Jared Leto, and it wasn't anything to do with the
Like
villains
Dallas
or
Buyers
anything.
Club.
Huh?
Dallas Buyers Club.
No, he was decent in that, but no,
Yeah.
there was one that he played a track star that got AIDS or some not AIDS. He got sick. No, I think it was cancer. He played like a track star that ended up getting cancer and he came back, beat cancer's ass, and
Oh.
kept going. It was a badass movie. But that's the only movie that I've ever really liked with him as like the main star. Aside from that, I'm not really a Leto fan.
I like Skeletor's voice in this version though. Even though some parts it was kind of hard to understand what he was saying.
Yeah, I did feel that. Now I didn't have the only reason I didn't have a problem with it is because I watched the original cartoon and his voice in the original cartoon is goofy as shit. And so the fact that they did make it more like deeper, I guess, and like,
Yeah, a bit more deep and menacing.
yeah, it was a bit more deep and menacing, but again, I would have much preferred if it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know why. I felt like with that deep, like with the same tone that he had, just that fucking the the roughness of Arnold's like Dutch voice, like or his like German accent
Yeah.
is just would have been so much better. It would have made it funnier too. I think He man. Yeah, I can't do his. That's the one fucking thing I can't do is his thing. But yeah, that shit would have been funnier. I think. But I did really like the movie though, as far as like how they played it out. Like the storyline and stuff like that. Again, it could have been a little bit more mature, kind of like the Avengers movies or like
Yeah.
Thor or like all those kind of movies. They could have made it a little bit more, grown up, opposed to childlike. But I mean, they're going for a certain audience, so it's kind of um, but I like the story. Neela, I thought she was badass. I
Huh?
like what they did with her.
You mean Tila?
Fucking Tila. Sorry, not Neela. Um, yeah, I thought that was cool. So
Yeah, I thought Tila and Man at Arms were really good characters also.
yeah, Idris
And
Elba did a great job.
especially at the beginning, It's mainly Man at Arms just kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Hell yeah, they opened up strong.
Yeah, they
Like
did.
the like right after the kid scene where he was a kid, like when they jumped into like the actual well, I mean he
Battle.
was still a kid, but
Yeah.
like after they they focus on getting attacked by what's his face?
Skeletor.
Yeah, it was pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started trying to backpedal because I didn't want to give it too much away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh shit, I'm saying too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Overall,
I liked it.
I enjoyed it. And
Yeah, yeah. When I saw Tila, I was like, damn, she's fine as hell.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did a good job on the grown up actors, and I really like how they did Adam. How he was like kind of like a wimp. You know what I mean? Like kind of just like a big puss. You know.
I mean,
Um,
it made sense where he worked at.
Yeah, man. The one thing I didn't like is they were pushing that whole he, him, she, her bullshit.
Yeah.
But I won't get into all that.
Yeah.
That's but it's just the times we live in. But that shit kind of annoyed the piss out of me.
Yeah.
That whole thing. But
Um. We're gonna talk about what we've been up to lately. We recently got HBO Max.
mm-hmm.
I subscribed to it yesterday, and we're going to on the next episode we're going to be talking about our thoughts on episode 1 of the Lantern series.
Yeah, it comes out on Sunday, so
Yeah,
we'll watch it on Sunday night probably or Sunday afternoon, whenever it comes out. It probably comes out like 7 or 8.
it's
So
at
we may
8
watch
8
it
9
Sunday or
central.
Monday. Monday. Um, and each week will that'll be one of the segments in the
Mm-hmm.
show is, and that'll probably hold us for like 10 shows.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's like probably 10 episodes, maybe. 8 to 10 is usually standard for big time productions like that, big
Yeah.
time production shows. So each week we can follow up with our thoughts on that week's Green Lantern without spoiling it.
Yeah. Um. Besides all that, I got some two big stuff. Got the DC Encyclopedia cover by Alex Ross, and this is from the year I think 2005 or 4. So I wanted to make sure I got all the early stuff, or where it stopped at like at least mid to late 2000s, because I don't like reading the whole retcon stuff, except for what happened on like the whole when they did the reboot with the Crisis, which was during the 1980s, is where they like retconned a lot of stuff. And yeah, he showed you the Marvel Encyclopedia. That one's big.
Yeah, I didn't want to cut them off. They're both huge,
Yeah,
but yeah, you got the Marvel one as well. I've always been more of a Marvel fan myself, over DC. I think you're more of a DC guy, aren't you?
I'm getting more into DC.
Yeah, I've always been
I
more.
used to be only Marvel.
Yeah, I'm more of a Marvel guy. Like, I mean, as far as like X-Men and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up. My favorite stuff is X-Men and X-Men adjacent stuff. Like Logan, like
Wolverine.
like that's Deadpool. Those kind of characters always kind of spoke to me because they're kind of more gruesome. I guess you could like it's more like gory than DC. DC doesn't. It's not as gory to me. Uh, like Superman and Spider Man doesn't seem to be as gory. As far as
Well, if you've read the comics, there's some gory stuff in there.
but I don't read a whole bunch of comics. I'm used to just like watching the movies and shows and stuff like that.
Especially Blackest Night. That comic that I didn't get yet,
Oh yeah,
because like the whole cover, the slip cover was all torn up. It was at that game exchange. But Blackest Night is like a really dark lantern story. It's got like a lot of gore and death in there. And speaking of the whole reboot stuff, I got Dark Knight Returns, the animated movie based on the book by Frank Miller, which is about where um, Bruce Wayne, uh, Batman, he's retired from being Batman for like 10 to 7 years, and there's this whole mutant gang going about wreaking havoc, and he decides to go back in but the reason why he stopped is because one of his Robins passed away. Like he went into like a dangerous route and he couldn't save him, and so he had to retire after that. And which is also what this one is about. Batman Under the Red Hood, which is all about Jason Todd. And there's one before that, which is called A Death in the Family. And going over the commentary and behind the scenes, at first Jason Todd, it's basically like a copy of Dick Grayson because they were very similar, except they had to change it and make Jason Todd like kind of challenge Batman in a way because Jason Todd at um at first Batman finds him and Jason Todd is like removing the wheels off the Batmobile and and
Damn.
and
Just
he
leaving them on bricks.
because Jason Todd he's just a child and he's doing bad stuff and he doesn't have a home and so he tries to help him out and he makes him his Robin and as Jason becomes Robin and fighting along more with Batman, he tends to fight more aggressively and not in a morally good way because he gets more aggressive and sometimes breaking bones of the enemies and stuff like that.
But
And
Batman's a pansy. So
well, there's like different iterations of how Batman does like moral stuff. Because in this one, he goes like near the end, he goes like uh, full rage mode because he's tired of because the Joker is in this one too. But like everybody's all older, and then Batman is like I'm like I'm getting real tired of your shit, Joker. Cause
hell
like,
yeah.
cause
Finally growing some nuts.
yeah, cause he's tired of like of the Joker like always killing people and then him always escaping from Arkham Asylum. So he it goes with that stuff in there, and yeah, he did. It's just a more darker tone on Batman, and the whole Justice League is retired and all old, and Superman is working for the government, and the president in this one is actually Ronald Reagan.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. Which it is in the 80s, and I think Reagan
Yeah.
was president in 88 or something like
He was
that.
in, yeah, during the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so Reagan he wants Batman stopped because he's not under government control, and so Superman steps in and tries to stop Batman. And yeah, it's a really good movie. It's split into two parts, but with the deluxe edition, it combines everything into 2.5 hours. But it has pretty good pacing. There is a new Robin named she's female. She's named Carrie Kelly, and I thought they had some pretty good dynamics. And she just comes out of nowhere and just starts being Robin just because she felt like it. And Batman had like no knowledge of her like at all until she popped up to help him with the mutant gang fight. And yeah, I thought um these two movies were good. I'll have to get A Death in the Family, which is a interactive movie.
Where
Um,
you like pick.
yeah, you get to choose if Jason dies or not.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Like a Black Mirror kind of thing.
which is actually talked about in the comics, cause, which was a real decision. They made their own hotline to where you can vote whether Jason Todd lives or dies, and it got like a lot of people mad at him for like the people that wanted him to live and wanted him to die and stuff like that, because they ended up resurrecting Jason Todd, and some people got mad because he decided they brought him back because as Jason Todd got older, he started acting like a dick to Batman, and so yeah, so on the special features, it says all that about how Jason Todd began and how he evolved and stuff like that. That was pretty interesting, and I have Batman Year One coming in, the animated movie. I have the original comic behind me. That's where it goes into like the actual beginnings of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman for the first time in like 1 year, which is similar to the Batman Robert Pattinson movie. It has that kind of year one type of tone, and also got First Flight, the Green Lantern movie,
I want to see that.
just really good. It complements well with Justice League: The New Frontier, because in that movie, Hal Jordan is just basically just him before he got the ring, and so it goes about most of his life before he got the ring, and we talked about that last week. Yeah, you did. That was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought this was a really good origin story for Hal Jordan being the Green Lantern. It's fine. Um, he works with Sinestro, um, which becomes a mentor for Hal Jordan, and it goes to show how Sinestro deals with things like in his way, and how Jordan tries to sees that how Sinestro deals with things isn't at all how he imagined it, and it goes away from the elders, like the whole Guardians type of
Those
Lantern
big head
Corps.
things.
Yeah, the elders. The
Those things
plant.
creep me out. They're like midgets, like little bodies and big ass heads.
But yeah, it's basically a mystery thriller going over how the Lantern before how Abin Sur how he got killed. So I thought it was a really good movie. And last night I saw Green Lantern Emerald Knights, which is basically a anthology series, but turned into a movie, because there's an overall story going on behind the whole anthology, the whole mini stories. It just goes, um, it talks about the backgrounds of different lanterns, like uh, Apra. I think that's his name. He was originally a scribe that got turned into a Green Lantern and started proving himself that he can be a Green Lantern, and started training other members to be a well trained Green Lantern. How he overcame fear to fight and gained willpower to fight other enemies. And there, Kilowog has his arc to what made him a Green Lantern.
That's a big.
Yeah, that's the big guy.
Yeah, he's probably my
Um,
favorite character.
got Lyra, I think that's her name. She's a female Green Lantern. She's from some type of alien race. She's female. She's from like a royal family, but her father decided to become some type of tyrant, and then he started letting his own world like destroy itself because they were in a war with another faction, and so Lyra goes back to her home planet and tries to find out what's going on, and she confronts her father. And there's also Arissa, which is a new recruit. So that's four, and then I forgot the other two. But there's this one threat. I think his name is um, Afro or something. Oh, but he's like this huge yellow solar uh, alien, but he looks like a human. And there's this huge threat because his main source of power is from the sun, and he sends out shadow beings that can literally like turn other Green Lanterns into like ash,
That's fucking badass.
and um, and so when a lantern dies, the ring itself like flows flow
Mm-hmm.
flies out to find another. Lantern, or it just goes back to the Elders. And so their main threat is that whole main bad guy. But I think it should have dealt without that. Um, Not the main threat, but without the whole anthology stuff. Because I think it made the main threat drag on a bit, even though there's like nothing happening. There should have been more happening with the main threat going on. And oh yeah, the other one is Mogo. He's like a literal living planet of a Green Lantern.
That's fucking
So
sick.
he's like one of the strongest ones. And Hal Jordan is in it, but he's like all he does is basically just tells Arissa about the other backgrounds of the lanterns. But it's pretty cool. Even though I thought some of that wasn't really needed, but it just goes to show like the whole origins of other lanterns within the Lantern Corps. And Sinestro isn't a villain in this one, just like he ends up being in First Flight. But yeah, it's kind of like a in between, like what happened. It's kind of like it has the same animation as First Flight, but different voice actors. And it basically goes on like what would happen um before Sinestro became a villain, but he was still mentoring Hal Jordan, but stuff like that. So there's some type of connections with the First Light because it's even directed and produced by the same person. Except there's different voice actors, but the animation is still the same. But yeah, it was all right.
I
But
think after we finish up, I'm gonna go watch. I think they have the movies, the Green Lantern movies on HBO.
yeah, they
So
do.
yeah, so I'm gonna go watch those.
Well, there's only three.
Are they all
Well,
three on
wait,
there?
no, I think there's four because there's like three animated ones. One was with John Stewart, which is called Beware My Power. Um, there's another one, but it's mainly Justice League, and it focuses on another Green Lantern, a new one named Jessica Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
That one's called Justice League versus the Fatal Five, and of course First Light, Emerald Knights, and then the live action one with Ryan Reynolds.
That's the one I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, that one's Green Lantern, and I think those are the only ones it has.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch that whenever we finish up here. I'm gonna go watch that on HBO.
Okay,
I might have to sign it in on the TV in the living room though, because I don't want to watch it in my room.
okay. Um, we are gonna get into the news now. There we go. Which is why. Oh shit. That chat. Size it down a little bit. There we go. That's why Man of Tomorrow keeps adding cameos, which is just really side characters, because there is a current contract going on with Paramount. The contract Paramount never sees. This is from an article by Cosmic Book News by Mac McGloin. Paramount keeps holding. Oh, and then also new shows are being canceled that were never really gonna happen in the first place. Waller and Paradise Lost are now reported dead, and we're told Adria Arjona's Wonder Woman is indeed more of a cameo in Man of Tomorrow, which I don't think she's gonna be in it. Um, Man of Tomorrow keeps adding cameos, and everyone keeps asking the same question: why? Insider explanation has been consistent. Script was Frankenstein together from leftover ideas, which makes sense. More cameos were added after the Supergirl backlash. Yeah, makes sense. And with this potentially being James Gunn's final DC movie, the film is being loaded with fan service for one last run, which is probably not going to be even close to be related to the Man of Tomorrow comic also. All of that still stands according to, of course, resources. There we go. Paramount merger contract now offers another explanation. It has been sitting in plain sight. Reported Thursday merger agreement already gives Paramount veto power over DC's long-term future. Also, why the DCU Batman search has been frozen solid. Because with Batman, like with the new actor, you have to sign like a long contract, to be like to stay as that character and not do any more. Can't do any more projects. Um, except for I
Yeah,
think
lock you into a contract that you
yeah,
can't. Yeah.
except with Robert Pattinson because like while the Batman Part Two is has been delayed to 2028 February. He's in a new movie where he plays as Chris Hansen, and
Oh
called
yeah,
where it's called Prime Time.
yeah. But then again, he was Batman before they tried to lock somebody into it, into like a contract that you can only play this character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Batman before they locked him into that contract. So, but they still want to use him because they've already used him previously, so he
Yeah.
didn't have to be locked in.
Apply that same contract problem to the growing pile of cameos. Why cameos fit Paramount contract. Cameo avoids nearly every restriction created by the merger agreement, being covered by a single appearance deal, no sequel options, multi-year commitment, nothing extending beyond the merger's closing date, plus 2 years. So if you have a cameo, it's basically just a one and done thing because nobody is like tied to anything. Um, Money also stays near the 30 million approval threshold. No first rights, nothing that needs to be submitted. No, basically like no actor contracts. Nothing Paramount has to review, which is how they're getting away with it. Franchise league requires a long-term commitment. Cameo can be recovered by day rate.
Now we have Super Dog Shit Girl.
Yeah. Studio trying to keep its cinematic universe moving while trapped inside a merger contract. Cameos are the easiest deals to make because it's one and done. They show up and that's it. Call sheet shows the pattern. Discussion through that lens. Wonder Woman cameo. At Comic Con, Arjona refused to deny the casting. Also revealed that she's not filmed anything for the movie, despite production running since April. Cameos are often written, finalized, and filmed in late production. Frank Grillo, who played as Rick Flag, returned to set 7 weeks after publicly announcing he had been wrapped, which it, he was already in like the Suicide Squad movies
Yeah.
anyway. And I think he also actually voiced himself in Creature Commandos,
Oh shit.
because and Peacemaker. He was in the well,
Yeah, he was in Peacemaker.
yeah,
Yeah.
he was in Peacemaker.
Yeah, I think he was in both of them.
Yeah, but he's not like a huge character, so it
Yeah, he plays
makes
a little bitch in the second season of
yeah.
Peacemaker.
Um, and then Blue Beetle joined the expanding cameo because he's not really a huge character either. He's more into the new version of the Teen Titans and yeah, the Young Justice animated series, which he's not the original Blue Beetle, which was someone different.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
the kid from
Cobra Kai.
Karate Kid. Yeah, Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
Yeah, he was like technically the main character. Well, the second main character, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Um, Even Batman fits the pattern. So now Batman did make a cameo in the Creature Commandos, but only as like in animated form. No real actor has been cameoed yet, at least. Gunn's camp has been seeing Batman links to build support for a Batman cameo in the movie. Batman cameo is deal Gunn can make. Well, of course, it's just a cameo. Batman franchise deal he cannot make alone, which is very true. Apparently that's what the actress is supposed to look like as Wonder Woman. It's not for one appearance, which makes sense. Just a cameo. Not a future. Yeah. One movie, no sequel options, no solo films or anything. Green Human Turn merger. Yeah, controlling loan firm. DC's long-term future approves another deal under agreement. That company is Paramount. What does her contract actually cover? And we'll just see when Man Tomorrow comes out. If no larger deal follows, Wonder Woman is little more than a guest star in her own cinematic universe. Yeah.
Oh, sucks to suck.
DCU is being built with one-off deals. Zoom out and done. Uh, entire DC slate follows the same pattern. No feature film has been announced between cast and projects that have not been greenlit. Yeah, not a long-term plan. And there's a follow-up.
Sounds like just a bunch of maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe this will happen, maybe that'll
Mm-hmm.
happen. Yeah.
No Justice League until Ellison says so, which
Mhm.
is one of the CEOs of Paramount, David Ellison.
Yeah, that's
Which
why I'm deleting Paramount. They suck.
I mean, if they get WB and HBO combines all this, or if Paramount owns HBO, then
If they do that, they better keep HBO. That way we can pay for that instead of fucking Paramount. I
yeah,
mean, Paramount has good shit. Don't get me wrong. Paramount has really good shows and movies. Or yeah, mostly shows.
they actually they have
They're like mostly serious. Like more, they have Mobland, which they're coming out with a new season of. Tulsa King, which I just watched. Uh, was it Paramount that has Landman
mhm,
with Billy Bob Thornton that I just watched?
yeah,
They have a lot of good like serious shows. I wanted to watch Mobland before I delete. Did you already delete it?
yeah.
Oh fuck.
I
Okay.
signed out of everything.
Damn. Okay. Never mind. I was gonna watch Mobland before we.
You
Yeah.
did
Before
something
we.
last night.
Yeah. I know.
And they're also the home of Nickelodeon, which they usually have like almost most of the Nickelodeon animated series, like Rugrats, Invader Zim,
Hmm.
Rocko's Modern Life, the Angry Beavers or Badgers. I think it's Beavers. Um, and stuff like that. Teenage Mutant TMNT, the Ninja Turtles, even the movies. Um, Merger agreement argues Paramount veto power over DC's long-term future. DC can't lock down Batman.
I don't like that actor, the bald one.
Oh, Nicholas Holt
Yeah, I don't like him for that part.
for
He's goofy for that
FX.
part.
Yeah. He could have been a good Superman, David Cornsweet, but the writing with behind James Gunn, it didn't fit very well
He's
with
a good actor. Just the writing sucked.
yeah. Can't lock down Justice League roster on its own because it requires Paramount. Yeah, so basically what we've already discussed in Man of Tomorrow stuff. Yeah, basically already talked about that. All right, now Marvel just announced a Star Wars Marvel crossover comic, but with Kevin Smith writing, called Hope Assembles, and this is apparently this is supposed to take place within the main Marvel continuity because it's in the 616 universe, which is pretty stupid because the whole movie synergy stuff, which I do not like.
That I would like to read. I mean, not because it's Kevin Smith, but I mean, I used to really like Kevin Smith,
Yeah,
but apparently he's gone off the deep end and doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But as far as I love fucking Star Wars and just putting those two together, uh, just seems like a badass fucking thing to do if it's done correctly.
yeah,
So hopefully, if it's done, I might grab it whenever it comes out. It looks like it's arriving on in May of 2027.
no
Um,
January.
oh, the first issue. Oh well, with the finale, my fault. Yeah. So January of 2027. If it's not super expensive, which hopefully it won't be because it's brand new.
Yeah,
So hopefully it won't be too bad. I might get the first issue and see how I like it. If I like it, I'll probably get the subsequent ones. And me and Beastman can both read them as
yeah,
as we go. I'll read the first one, give it to you, and then so on and so forth.
yeah. I
And
usually get my comics from it's called mycomicbookshop.com, and the only thing I don't like about it is that their shipping can go up to like $10 to $15. That's the
damn,
only thing I don't like
dude, comics
about
don't
them.
weigh but fucking a couple ounces.
But their comics are usually like only like um at least $2 to $3 at least.
That's crazy. $2 for the comic and $15 for shipping is nuts.
Yeah, yeah, because I have right now. I'm not gonna buy anything right now. I'm just gonna show y'all right here because I got the Darkness issue 6, 2025, and then Darkness versus Angelus like $3.99, $5.99. It was like $9.98, and then for shipping, uh, I did all that. You want to go ahead and talk?
Yeah. Being a huge Star Wars fan, uh, and actually a fan of like the Avengers and stuff like that. And was before I didn't even know anything about the bullshit that was going on with Kevin Smith, but Beastman last night was telling me that Kevin Smith has really been messing some shit up, and I was actually when he said that I was kind of hyped about it. I was like, oh no shit, like two worlds that I would like that'd be awesome to see collide, um, but and when I heard Kevin Smith, I was like, oh damn, hell yeah, because I mean he's literally been like like a big part of comics and stuff like that. It's his whole life pretty much, his comic books and stuff. And so I figured he'd be a great person to write it. And he has like a witty kind of personality and kind of like he's kind of like an idiot, like just kind of like stupid, like stoner kind of shit. And so I figured it'd be like the perfect person to write something like to keep it like uh original and not take too many liberties, but also bring the two worlds together in like a witty way. And I feel like it, but with his whole new persona bullshit, I guess, which I don't know much about. I have to go into detail and,
You want to
but
tell him about his whole He-Man stuff
yeah, the
on
um,
He-Man Revelation?
I may watch that before the next one, the He-Man Revelation. We would watch the trailer for it, but apparently trailers we can't watch them because they'll end up cutting on YouTube. We tried that last stream, and they worked the first couple times.
Yeah, they did.
Even pausing them, it still cut out. So, but yeah, I might go check it out, and then that would be something that we can talk about the next stream. I'll probably watch it the next couple days. Today, I am gonna watch the Reynolds
Green
the
Lantern.
Green Lantern with Reynolds in it. Yeah, I will check that out tonight. Again, I've seen it like once or twice, but and then I'll probably try to read the Green Lantern comic book as well, the big one that Beastman's got.
That's not big.
Well, I mean, it's like it's not a single floppy. It's like the full series or
There's like
whatever.
6 issues.
Yeah, so I'll probably get into that. I probably won't read the whole thing, but I'll read a couple little issues from it. But hearing, excuse me, hearing of Kevin Smith doing his thing with Star Wars and the Avengers, I think it'll be a badass little come together if he does it right. So I might get the first issue.
Um, I'll I'll get to that in a sec.
Yeah, all
Scroll fire.
gun everything he touches turns to shit.
I was just gonna talk about like the shipping. Like, there's one like 790 from Lone Star, which I haven't heard good things from them. And then the USPS, like it's 1390 just for shipping
That's
for
bullshit.
like 2 or 3 days. So that's usually the one that I go to because they're usually like more trusted, and I don't go to the Lone Star one. And then for 3 days it's like $20, so I'm not checking that out. Using that shipping. So this is why I only get like at least like one two at least two issues like that I'm interested in, and then just have the shipping cost, which is which would be like around 20, no, nah, hell no, that'd be like $30. Yeah,
Yeah.
about like $20 to $30, like mid $20, probably like 25.
Well, 13. Yeah, it's like yeah, it'd be like $25 to $28
Yeah.
depending.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's why if I'm getting anything that's a little bit older, not even like super old or anything, but a little bit older, usually I can find them on eBay. So I find a good seller on eBay, and that's where I get like if I because I like collecting the collections.
Yeah.
So instead of getting like one big omnibus or anything like that, I like to get the collections of the floppies because it helps me read them individually and stuff like that, and I can take my time with them. I mean, you could do that either way, but I just like having the floppies. That's just what I like. And uh, so whenever I go to try to complete a collection, that's where I get my like the ones that I'm missing. I get them from eBay, and usually I find like one good seller or two good sellers that I like to use from eBay. I don't know their names off the top of my head right now, but there's like two, maybe three of them that I use, and they have a lot. So it's not like I'm like starving to find something. You know what I mean? If I'm looking for it, they probably have it. Um, so uh, yeah, when it comes to like websites stuff like that, that shipping is just dog shit. I'd rather just go through eBay because the shipping's easier. Now, if you're getting something new, like a brand new release or something, it's going to be a whole lot more difficult to find on eBay or anything like that because, I mean, people aren't selling something that they just now got. You know, they're selling things that they've had that they're trying to get rid of, or or they're just like collectors that are like like to swap. So it is a little bit harder to find stuff like that, but.
Yeah, Skull Fire, that is the one I'm talking about. Green Lantern's Blackest Night, which I didn't have the Omni. It didn't have the. They didn't have the omnibus at the game exchange, so I think the one you have leads up to Blackest Night and then has Blackest Night included. The one I have was just a Blackest Night storyline in general. But yeah, um, you said Batista being Kratos.
That sounds like it could be interesting.
Um, because Ryan North, he was the original actor casted for the Kratos series on Amazon. Um, God,
My only thing about you put PF and it'll still work. Um, my only thing about Batista is that he's a one like he's a like he has one personality and he's that same
oh,
thing in
gross.
every movie. He has like he's not very like his acting skills aren't very wide. Like he doesn't have a wide range when it comes to acting. Like he kind of plays the kind of the same like dull monotone character. But I think that will work with Thanos
Huh?
or Kratos. Sorry, not freaking Thanos. Kratos. I think it'll work with Kratos because of his. He's gonna have to get big again though,
Yeah, he is.
because he lost a shit ton of weight, got
Mm-hmm.
real skinny. But I think that he would work for Kratos because of the same reasons that he worked for the big fucking blue guy on uh Star Lord. What was that?
He plays
My brain's not
Drax.
working. Yeah, Tracks. Because of the same reason that Tracks work, I think it'll work for Kratos.
Well,
Um,
this one is different because Kratos is more serious.
well, no, I know. I'm not saying the funny part, but I'm saying like he was serious in that movie. He said funny shit, but
Yeah,
he wasn't all like like goofy and shit. You know what I mean? He played like a very serious kind of character, and I think that it'll work for. I think he can do that very well because he's not a comedian. He's a
yeah.
very serious person. Who just like kind of says like he's got like a dry humor. So I think his seriousness and his look will actually transfer over to Kratos very well.
He's also said that he's been wanting to go into more serious roles as an actor.
Yeah,
So I think it could work, even though, like years ago, he was rumored to play Marcus Phoenix in a Gears of War live action
that would have been
series or
badass if that
movie.
happened.
And so since he's doing this, if it is confirmed, like if he actually does it, um, I think it could work. But the Gears of War is gonna be something else, which I don't think is gonna happen for a long time. But yeah, Dave Bautista talks for Kratos' role after Ryan Hurst exit. Ryan Hurst, I think he exited because I think there was a set injury, so he couldn't, he had to exit, and then probably some other stuff going on. But I think it could be a good casting. There's also some other stuff I saw with the voice actor for Kratos, Christopher Judge. He was talking about how the writers like have don't want anything to do with the game, the games that it's trying to adapt. Whoops, stop. Um, Games and just have the basically just have the writers of the original game write the show, basically, because the current writer of the show, he's not really a big gamer and he hasn't played any of the God of War games.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna fuck it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need somebody who is like who knows the game left, like from front to back. You know.
and which is why I think the Like a Dragon series on Amazon has failed because it's like the same thing. You're getting different writers that have no knowledge of the games that they're trying to write and make it into a show. You don't know anything about the characters, and so when they try and adapt it to film or as a series, it doesn't feel right because like the writers are completely different from the games that they're basing it off of.
And it wouldn't be right to make a black guy Kratos.
He's just a voice actor.
Oh, he's a voice actor.
Yeah,
That's cool. But no, playing Kratos though,
yeah.
like yeah, that.
Yeah, because Kratos is he's a
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I watched an interview with him,
yeah.
and he was doing the Kratos voice.
Oh, there we go. Christopher Judge criticized God of War TV adaptation for failing to hire original game writers. Questioned why studios ignore creators who spent decades shaping their franchise, stating that dismissing them makes no sense when adapting pre-existing successful lore. And that's the same thing, which is has been going on more recently because there's also going to be a Mass Effect TV series, which the writer has no knowledge of the games, which is pretty stupid. And the same thing that's happening with the new Resident Evil movie with Zach Kreger. Um, he said he's played all the games, or he's played most of the games, like Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 original and remake, and then Resident Evil 8 and 9. And he just wants to. He has like little uh, Easter eggs in the trailers, but has nothing at all compared to the game's actual setting. The trailer says Raccoon City, but what you get is nothing like the game at all, which is pretty stupid. Even though past Resident Evil movies, the live action versions, they are close to the game as much as they can, especially Welcome to Raccoon City. But there are still like they have the looks of it, but the whole feeling and story of it just doesn't quite compare to the actual games and the whole Paul W.S. Anderson versions of them with Mila Jovovich, um, which I think the first two were at least close to the games, especially the second one, Resident Evil Apocalypse. They actually tied it to the games, but just made their own story of it, and they did have the game's characters in there, but yeah, and then later on, the movies get a lot more crazier and ridiculous, and they end up bringing more of the video game characters like Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield, Leon Kennedy, Barry Burton, and Ada Wong, and then Wesker. But yeah, he wants the whole setting in a whole snow area, which in Raccoon City it was like the year 1998, and it was more of like a set during in September, which was like no snow. It is mainly summer. There's no snow at all in sight, and he wants to make it in the year of 2026. So the current day, which is so stupid. because the whole thing about Resident Evil is the current time period of when everything happens because it's set in 1998 and stuff like that, and the whole T virus, and all the other virus stuff, and the whole biological terrorism and biological weapons and stuff like that. So, yeah, criticizing video game adaptations, ignoring source talent. Judge pointed out during a convention appearance reported by IGN. Don't care. IGN Hollywood routinely sidelines exact people who made a property successful. 20-year immersion, he emphasized that the original game writers spent decades understanding the nuance of the characters, asking how a newcomer could assume they know better, which they do not. Um, Judge noted that the adaptations work best when respecting the source material, creative core, raising frustrations over why foundational talent is so often left behind. Exactly. Just like Resident Evil and everything else. It's like God of War, Resident Evil, Mass Effect, Yakuza, which is renamed to Like a Dragon, stuff like that.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it is. So I think the whole thing is really stupid. Oh, piss off. Yeah. Could be a next God of War. Learn from sources Batista currently in talks for the role of Kratos. Series based on popular video game franchise. I want to know why Ryan Hurst left. News comes after Ryan Hurst, who was originally cast in the role, titular God in January 2026. Yep, injury. Suffered from a torn bicep on the set of the series that would have delayed a return to production until 2027, ultimately leading Amazon and Sony to recast the part. The plan is to get the production back up and running by fall. Uh, there are a few better suited for the role of Kratos than Batista. Aside from the fact that he is an accomplished actor, he is one of the few in Hollywood who could step into the role on short notice in the physical shape it requires.
I do believe that.
Kratos is known for his incredibly muscular physique in the games, and Batista has been in remarkable shape throughout his career, but not as he was before.
Exactly. Yeah. After all that weight loss,
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for him, but at the same time, if you're gonna step into the character of Kratos, you're gonna need to gain that weight back, buddy.
Yeah.
You know, and get
I
back
mean,
in.
same thing with The Rock too. He's lost a lot of his muscle too.
Has he really?
Uh-huh.
I was just watching the whole.
Yeah, because I think during like his Fast and Furious days, the Hobbs and Shaw, he was like super
Oh,
jacked.
dude looked like he was on fucking steroids.
Yeah.
He looked like he could eat the Hulk. You know, yeah, dude was yeah. And it's funny because I was just been watching those. I'm actually on Furious 8 now. I haven't started it yet, but um, yeah, I'm on. Yeah, I've been watching all of them in order. And he is huge.
Also has been in 16 relationship with MGM Studios. Previously starred in Amazon movies Wrecking Crew, My Spy. Oh, that's the one with Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, The Wrecking Crew, Jason Momoa and Batista. My Spy.
Yeah, I watched the one with Wrecking Crew. That was a decent movie. I mean, both of them are like not great actors, but they do good in that movie. It's a pretty good movie.
Making a sequel to Roadhouse.
They already did.
No, I know. It's set to appear in Roadhouse 2 though.
Oh, they're coming out with a second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Ryan Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor. Jake Gyllenhaal and
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor was just coked the fuck out during that movie, bro. He was a shit actor. He was just all geeked up on cocaine and like he was a horrible actor.
And a remake for Highlander, which I still need to see those movies.
Yeah, I don't think
I
I've
know
seen
there's
Highlander.
2 of them. Tisa first broke out as, of course, in the WWE before he transitioned to a highly successful and diverse acting career. Played Drax in Guardians of the
I
Galaxy.
did like him as Drax in Guardians.
Yeah. Also appearing first 2 Dune films, which I think he might be in Dune 3. I'm not sure.
He did a good job in Knock at the Cabin. He played like a super serious Like that's why I know that he could play a good serious actor. Not because of that movie, but just he has good like when it comes to being serious, he has good acting chops. It's serious because I mean he just plays himself, just like
Mm-hmm.
the real like dull but
Yeah.
mean kind of.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think he'd make a great Thanos or fucking I keep saying Thanos, Kratos.
Yeah. And I didn't know he did a voice in Avatar also.
No, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
a film. Never mind.
Yeah,
The
Aang.
film.
Yeah, the Last Airbender. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I'm not really into
Um,
those.
he's in Blade Runner 2049.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know he plays like some type of replicant. Knock at the Cabin by M. Night Shyamalan, 007 Spectre, and Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead.
Sweet.
WWE, Jackaway, Austin, Tierman,
Mm,
given two seasons. Okay, God of War in two-season order. Previously reported, series will pick up with the story of the two most recent ones, which is 2018 and Ragnarok. Must raise his 10-year-old son Atreus while battling gods of the Norse pantheon. Per logline, father and son Kratos and Atreus embark on a journey, spread the ashes of their wife and mother Faye. Through their adventures, Kratos tries to teach his son to be a better god, while Atreus tries to teach his father how to be a better human.
cool. Just like the movie, or just like the game.
Yeah.
I didn't get very far to that game. I got like halfway.
Tom Vincent. Oh, oh yeah, that kid looked like way too young.
He looked pretty damn young in the game, though.
I wonder if they're gonna age him up because in Ragnarok he's like much older.
Oh yeah,
Atreus, he's like in his
Atreus.
yeah. I think he'll be like 15 or
Oh shit.
like 15 or 18. Uh, or yeah, oh, not that. It had still photos. Yeah, right here. Yeah, that was Ryan Hurst. That's the original actor, and that's supposed to be the actor for Atreus. Yeah, he seems.
I wish Ryan Hurst would have stayed him because I do really like Ryan Hurst. He played Opie in Sons of Anarchy, which is one of my favorite shows for a while, and there's a couple other good ones that he played in. What was that? Bates Motel. He was in Bates Motel.
Hmm.
He's a good actor, and I feel like he'd have been great. But I don't know Batista. I really do like for this. I hope that Batista gets the role.
Seems like he needs to be a bit more, just a little bit jacked also, just a
Well,
little
yeah,
bit
but Batista is probably about that size. He's probably bigger than Batista in that picture now.
probably.
He looks about bigger than Batista is right now. Batista's gonna have to put some weight back on.
Yeah.
If Batista can look like he did playing Drax, then it'll be fucking perfect. But if he stays his size right now and he doesn't want to come off that damn, I mean, it's cool that he's skinny. Who cares? But if you're gonna play a certain character, you're gonna want
Yeah.
to be, present that character well.
Yeah.
And to
Especially
present him well, he's
Kratos.
gonna have to get on a fucking like a major carbo and protein load and just crank out, and get back to his old size. His old size. Because when he played Drax, dude was a fucking monster. And if he can get back to that, then I think he could. I think he could really pull that role. What do you say?
It's Carla. Hi,
Oh,
buddy.
fucking Carla. What are you doing?
Right here. Oh, all right, there we go. There's a little buddy right there.
I didn't
Little
think you were gonna
boy.
show.
Um,
You missed the show.
new movie won't have anything to do with the game. Takes place outside Raccoon City. Exactly. Um, because like he's the main character is like a organ transplant. Wait, no. He delivers like he's basically like a refill man or something. He like delivers organs to other hospitals. Um, and so he goes into Raccoon City, but it doesn't look anything like Raccoon City. Enjoyed the older movies. They should leave it be and make a RE4 movie. I would say that, but with the way Hollywood is going right now, I don't think it's gonna be how you want it to be.
No, they're fucking up everything.
Yeah,
They need to fire all these people and get new people.
shows
Hollywood needs to be fired. Not just a couple produced. Hollywood itself needs to be
Mm-hmm.
fucking fired.
Show's gonna focus on newer games. Yep. All right. Yeah. Basically answered
But
everything.
yeah, I think that's close. Well, it was pretty much wrapped up. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty good stream
Yeah.
today. It was pretty long too, huh? Yeah,
Hour 30.
exactly an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah,
Um.
Carla, come in earlier next time, dummy.
Well, I think it was because we were talking through this.
Oh no! I'm glad. I'm glad that it lasted so
Yeah.
long. We missed so many of them that it's good to have a long one every now and then. And we had a lot to cover. I mean, we talked
Mm-hmm.
about the movies and talked about the new stuff that you got. Like it's so um your phone is is it really 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Oh duh, we started at 4:30 and oh yeah, sweet.
All right.
But yeah, that was a good one.
Next week. I hope next week. Yeah. Um.
What's next week that you think it won't happen?
What?
No, never mind. Go, keep going. I just dumb
I
question.
was just gonna say that I'm gonna have those animated movies. I was gonna get. I have Batman Year One animated movie coming,
Oh, okay.
and the death of Superman, which is a comic book adaptation of the death of Superman, which is Spider-Man versus not Spider-Man, Superman versus Doomsday, and they adapted that very briefly in Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, the live-action movie, and they also adapted like um the Batman versus Superman fight scene from the Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be able to see the animated version and see how that looks. I mean, how that compares.
Yeah. So the next one, I'm gonna go watch. I mean, shit, it's old. It's not like there's much to talk about it, but I'm about to go watch the Green Lantern, the original, not the original, but the one with the Ryan Reynolds, and then we'll watch on Sunday. We'll watch the first episode of Green Lanterns, the show, and then so we'll talk about that too, and how it differs from the movie and how it differs from the comics, and so yeah. And Taylor or Beastman will pop up some news for
Yep.
us to learn about what's going on in the game world and in the movies and stuff like that. So
Yep.
yes, sir.
We will catch you all later. Peace.
Deuces.